Welcome to Listertainment, the channel who promises entertainment but never delivers. On today's video, we'll be looking at fighters who were willing to give their opponent a free, unblocked, and undefended shot, and it turned out well, at least for a little while. Some of them did it to taunt their opponent, while others did it to instill fear in their opponent, and others did it just cause they're goddamn insane. One of the few things that the referee actually tells the fighters before they start is to protect themselves at all times, but these fighters completely ignored this suggestion and were extremely confident in their strength and iron chins that they would never be hurt by anything that their opponent could throw. Some of these cases turned out okay, while others just led to their downfall. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. And please let me know in the comments if you think these fighters are really dumb to do this in an actual fight. This here is Ricardo Mejia, a boxer from Nicaragua who was a 2-division world champion. This guy is one of the craziest boxers to ever get in a ring. He is known to smoke a pack of cigarettes a day and drinks during and the night before his fights. I could only imagine the career he could have had if he would have dedicated himself to fighting only.
With the right hand, this balanced shot. And there's a good 1-2 from Fox. Assertive, and another one. Right into the face of Mayorga. And another one. And Mayorga just eats.
That video shows his rematch against Ferdinand Forrest, where he went gambling, drinking, and partying the night before the fight and still woke up to win the fight. And as we have seen, he even gave away free hits. This guy was completely insane. New MMA fighters are sometimes trying to make a name for themselves, so they sometimes do crazy things that don't end up working, and you end up getting known for doing a very dumb and stupid thing. This MMA fighter was already getting punched while he was trying to block, and I guess he decided to maybe intimidate the opponent by letting him know that his power wouldn't hurt him, which at first seemed to have worked since his opponent stepped back with a little confusion, but then he took one more swing and bam, it's done. In this fight, we have Eric Fuyamaono in red going up against Edwin Rea in blue. We have the strong fighter in Eric going up against the faster, more agile fighter in Edwin. Edwin messed up when he decided to start brawling with Eric instead of using his footwork to move around, and obviously his power wasn't anything special. You could definitely see the difference in power since Eric swayed his whole body with every hit. Then Eric just let him get some hits in, and it worked out since it seemed to have disheartened Edwin a little bit, and Eric ended up winning the fight. Mark Hunt is known as having one of the strongest chins in all of MMA and power to match. He's earned the nickname of the King of Walk-Offs since he knocks out opponents and walks away before the ref even stops the fight, but his chin is on full display in this clip. His opponent, Ray Seffel, is no slouch and has great power as well, but still Hunt let him get some good punches in without blocking them and just walked right through them. Unfortunately for Hunt, he did go on to lose the fight via unanimous decision. Christy Martin is credited as the person who legitimized women's participation in the sport of boxing in the United States and ended up with a record of 49 wins with 31 knockouts and 7 losses. In this fight, we see her fighting against Mia St. John, and what was to become the final fight of her career.
St. John won the 154-pound belt by outlanding Martin, who finished the fight with her hands down. After the fight, both announced that they are hanging up the gloves, leaving an indelible...
Just imagine seeing this coming at you when you are fighting and giving it your all. She has absolutely no respect for Mia's punching power and completely drops her hands. She is even smiling and sticking out her tongue, taunting her opponent who has nothing left to be able to knock her out. She is so gassed, and I would assume a little intimidated, that she just hugs her at the end of the flurry. Shannon Hall, also known as Dallas, was an American boxer in the Tough Women contest, where she was undefeated. She also participated in other sporting events like the WWF and also an American Gladiator. During one of her boxing fights, she showed off her amazingly muscular body. Her abs must be incredible to be able to withstand wide open shots like those. Her opponent was swinging for the fences and landed some pretty good shots, but Shannon was just unimpressed by the power. Shannon went on to win the fight by a third round knockout. The fight that took place between Don Fry and Yoshihiro Takayama is quite a popular video, since it's one of the most impressive first couple of minutes of any fight in the history of fighting. Just take a look at this incredible video. These two men completely forgot about protecting themselves and just allowed the opponent to get free shots, while they delivered their own. They obviously ran out of gas after about 2 minutes and the fight slowed down a bit, but they still continued delivering incredible shots, until finally Fry got on top of Takayama, and with a flurry of punches caused the fight to be stopped.
He's gonna set it up with it. It's the second attempt he had. Whoa, you can hear the madness.
Ilana is self-trained in Shaolin Kung Fu, and although called a Shaolin monk, he in fact is not a monk at all. In one of the multiple fights he had with Brad Riddle, he was already getting hit pretty consistently, but decided to do the unthinkable and dropped his hands.
Another beautiful right hand, and it looked like the lights went out for a second, but he just waits and says, "Give me your best shot," and he has plenty of them.
The chin that Long has is incredible. He took multiple clean and strong shots to the face and seemed unfazed by all of them. He then came back with a flurry of his own like nothing had happened. This is incredible to see. Riddle did go on to win the fight though via a decision. Here we have Ricardo Mejia again pulling his crazy stunts, and this time against one of the best fighters of all time in Sugar Shane Mosley. This was the rematch between these two fighters after Mosley had beaten Mayorga 7 years prior via a 12-round knockout. Mayorga just taunted the hell out of Mosley before and during the fight.
Against Vernon. Another 1-2. Look at Mayorga. Fight's on. Let me tell you, Mayorga, this gets Mayorga into it. He just let him hit him a left hand. Look at him. Right hand. Hey, look at
Mayorga took those punches like a champ. And Mosley did have some amazing power, but it did not even wobble Mayorga here. Mayorga did lose this fight though after being knocked out in the 6th round. But it wasn't by a punch to the face, but rather a perfectly placed body shot.
You got two 40-somethings in here who both appear weary and maybe... And down goes Mayorga!
I had trouble finding another example of someone straight out dropping their hands, but I did find this clip when Anderson Silva put his hand on Nick Diaz and just let him swing freely at his face. Nick had been taunting Anderson the entire fight, but was never able to get good significant hits on him, while Anderson was able to get good hits on him and eventually reached this point where Anderson just let him swing on him. And he didn't even seem to feel the punches. Granted that it's hard to get a good punch like this, but after being taunted for so long, this must feel good to make Nick Diaz look a little helpless. I tried to show clips that straight up showed successful people putting their hands down at least for a short period of time. There is no way that anybody wouldn't be intimidated if you give your opponent your best shot unblocked and are still unable to hurt them. Hope you guys enjoyed this list, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.